It was horrific. It was horrific.
A painful journey in Central Otago.
A great deal of the community were dead against anything.
Now turning a corner.
If more people had the chance to come out from behind their fears and have those kōrero, we'd be a better country.
But is everyone on board?
No, I think it's enough. I don't want to see anything changed.
This is how it is now. Hard enough.
The imposing and breathtaking ranges of Central Otago. Valleys which surround the small town of Alexandra.
Alexandra sits at the juncture of the Manuhirikia and Matao rivers. Traditionally, whānau didn't live here, though. It was a passageway from the Maunga to the Moana. That was until the gold mining boom of the 1860s.
There were no other stories other than gold mining in Central Otago. They knew about Māori, but they didn't. They knew that we actually ate them more.
Francie Diver and Louise McKenzie are two stalwarts of the Alexandra community.
Now that I am this age, old, I think back and I thought, shit, you know.
Could you think that out? She's not allowed to say that.
For the last 4 decades, they've fought to revitalise and strengthen Te Ao Māori and tikanga in their rohe.
Well, now that I'm this age, which is old, and I look back, I'm really proud and can understand how hard we worked, how painful it was, how courageous we were not to give up.
In the late 1980s, Francie and Louise battled to set up a Te Ao Māori high school class.
A great deal of the community were dead against anything Māori, and there were times we'd come home crying, and one time a fist in the face, and that's how bad it was. That's how bad it was.
You came roaring across the room going, "You Maoris, get out of here." We weren't rare. We heard that it happened in other areas as well. You know, it just seemed so in your face here in Central Otago that they could be so serious about it, that not having Māori in the school, not having it, not having my children learning that.
Despite the mountain of opposition they faced, Louise became the first Te Reo Māori teacher at Dunstan High School in 1994.
It had been such an uphill journey to where we've been and to where we are now. And it's not just for the kids at school, it's what you can see in the whole community.
Louise and Francie put a lot of mahi in, I think a lot of lonely years, being a Māori leader here in Central Otago. So perhaps to have some support from the Mayor has been a good thing too.
Central Otago Mayor Tim Cadogan is Pākehā, but he's recently been on his own real journey.
Well, it's been a fascinating one. I've been Mayor for just short of 8 years now, and coming into the role, boy, probably used no today. I grew up in Balclutha, so just downstream from here. I've lived in Otago all my life.
And you never heard a lot of te reo growing up?
No, like I'm 60 next year, so incredibly limited, and no New Zealand history at all.
It wasn't until he became mayor he realised how disconnected he was.
When I became mayor, I thought, I'm going to have to learn Mandarin, believe it or not, because we had a large amount of Chinese tourists, growing market there, and also in Central Otago, a lot of our exports are cherries and so forth to China. So I thought, the basics for politeness. And somehow it got out that I was learning Mandarin. I remember somebody in a Facebook post on it going, I wonder if he's bothered to learn any te reo, and it kind of jabbed me a little bit.
What is it about that comment that really sat with you?
They were right. What the hell am I doing learning Mandarin when I'm at that stage completely and utterly illiterate in my own country's language? It's been a wonderful journey. Still the very beginnings though.
Tim wanted to change the culture within the Central Otago District Council, so he brought in Francie and Louise.
Te Ao classes were offered and certificates in bicultural competency were offered.
When Francie and I were asked to help with the cultural training of the staff at the council, the councillors were invited to join, and I think only one of them did. But I'm not talking about the staff, I'm talking about the
councillors.
councillors themselves.
The hard one.
No understanding at all, no experience, probably never even been into a Māori home, never been to a tangi, never been to a hui of any sort. They object to karakia.
Do you always feel safe going into those spaces?
Well, I used to cry a lot, but as I've got older, I've got
More confident.
meaner.
Time has brought the results he wanted.
The take-up was just magnificent. And so around the office now, it's, you know, very, very common to hear Te Ao, but when I started 8 years ago, no.
But has he brought locals along with him?
We were not encouraged to use Maori, unfortunately. I would have loved to have in school. Yeah, I think it's a good thing, but, you know, in balance. Like, we're all New Zealanders.
What do you mean by balance?
Oh, well, not sort of over the top Maori words. We've got to keep our own history as well.
Dunstan High School, they're very much into teaching the kids, and it'd be nice if the adults and the grandparents knew a little bit as well.
Would you like to see more Māori signage?
No, I think it's enough. I don't want to see anything changed, but anything new, that's fine.
I don't think you're ever going to change everyone's perception and understanding of Te Reo and Te Ao Māori.
In the last year, the use of Te Reo in public services has come under attack. English names now must be used first before Māori.
If 95% don't understand what it is, that all communication is about understanding and comprehension.
Government policy is to have English names first.
I'm concerned about the service they deliver, not virtue signalling.
I think it's a bit of a shame that it's happening. For me, it's another way to learn.
I find it depressing. I can't understand that the present government can have such a shallow experience of what it is to be Māori. I just can't believe it, can't understand it.
Despite central government policy, here in local government, tikanga and te reo is being embraced.
Thank you for letting me share in this magnificent day for you. This is singularly my favourite part of being the mayor. So the first citizenship ceremony I just did it the way we'd always done it. Absolutely no te reo. I don't know if I began with kia ora, but I doubt it. No Te Ao Māori in there at all. Okay, so what's going to happen is we're going to get called through by our friends from Ngāi Tahu.
Louise and I are asked to do so many things in the community, but this one is the highlight of what we do. We appreciate it so much. They haven't heard the karanga or been in touch with things Māori, but they like the feeling.
Tēnā koutou katoa. Ko wera, ko Shetland te whakapaparanga mai. We're light years ahead of where we were, and I think for the new citizens, it's entirely appropriate and wonderful that this happens. The time has come to make it official and finally become a real Kiwi, a proud New Zealander. It's the Māori country that they're being welcomed to, right? So I'm absolutely loving the amount of Māori influence in our citizenship ceremony. Well, I'm only just holding it together. I got to admit, this has been an incredibly special.
I actually didn't get how profound an experience it was going to be until we were lining up outside and these two wonderful ladies from Ngāi Tahu welcomed us into the space and into New Zealand officially, and I'll never forget it. Never forget it as long as I live. Thank you.
It's very, very emotional. Very, very emotional.
This is the change Francie and Louise are proud to see.
So at long last, it just feels comfortable We don't have the same resistance. I know people aren't all on our side, but that doesn't matter. We see their children and their grandchildren. Yay! So it's awesome.